Hello, spiritual gangsters, and welcome back to another episode of the Spiritual Gangster Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Pieraldi. Today's episode is a little different. It's slower, it's reflective, it's intentional. Because episode 44 isn't about teaching you something brand new. It's about helping you see how far you've already come. Over the last 43 episodes, we've talked about confidence, surrender, grief, growth, boundaries, energy, softness and strength, stillness, routines, healing, and everything in between. And while each episode had its own theme, its own lesson, its own heartbeat, together they tell a much bigger story. A story about becoming. So today we're reflecting. Not from a place of pressure to summarize or perform, but from a place of integration. Because wisdom doesn't come from consuming more content, it comes from pausing long enough to let what you've already learned land. So wherever you are right now, if you're walking, driving, folding laundry, or sitting with your coffee, I invite you to take a breath with me. This episode is a moment to look back with compassion. Lesson 1. You are stronger than you thought, but not in the way you were taught. If there's one thread woven through nearly every episode this year, it's this. You are stronger than you think. But not because you pushed harder, not because you hustled your way through pain, not because you ignored what hurt. Real strength showed up when you softened, when you surrendered, when you admitted you were tired, when you stopped pretending you were fine. Episodes like the strength in surrender and the strength in softness and honoring your healing journey reminded us that strength doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks like rest. Sometimes it looks like saying no. And sometimes it looks like choosing yourself quietly. Strength became less about proving and more about trusting. Lesson 2. Healing is not linear, and you're not doing it wrong. We talked a lot about healing this year, and not the Instagram quote version of it, the real kind, the messy kind, the kind where you think you're past something and then it shows up again. Episodes around grief, growth, letting go, honoring your journey, they all carried the same truth. Healing isn't a straight line. You didn't fail because you had a hard day. You didn't regress because you felt heavy again. You didn't undo your growth because something triggered you. You're human. And healing doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be present. Lesson 3. Your energy is always speaking, even when you're silent. This year, we spent a lot of time talking about energy. Your vibe, your nervous system, your intuition, the unspoken language you carry into every room. Episodes like Your Energy Speaks Louder Than Words and Energy Doesn't Lie reminded us that alignment isn't about saying the right things, it's about being the right things. You don't need to explain yourself when your energy is clear. You don't need to convince anyone when you're grounded. You don't need to perform when you're aligned. The work wasn't about becoming louder, it was about becoming truer. Lesson 4. Stillness is not laziness, it's wisdom. In a world that celebrates constant motion, stillness can feel uncomfortable. But episodes like The Power of Stillness in a Loud World and the magic of morning routines reminded us that slowing down isn't falling behind, it's coming home. Stillness became a form of rebellion, a form of self-respect, a way of listening instead of reacting. You learned that not every moment requires a response. Not every season requires action. Not every answer arrives through effort. Some arrive through quiet, Lesson 5, your mess can really become your message. This year didn't ask you to hide your scars. It asked you to see the wisdom inside them. Through conversations about purpose, resilience, and authenticity, we kept circling back to the same truth. What you've lived through matters. Not because it made you special, but because it made you empathetic. Your story isn't here to be polished. It's here to be honest. And when you stop seeing your past as something to outrun, it becomes something that can serve. Lesson 6. Confidence is built through self-trust, not perfection. Confidence showed up this year not as arrogance, but as self-belief. The quiet kind, the grounded kind. The kind that says, I don't have all the answers, but I trust myself to figure it out. We learned that confidence isn't about being fearless, it's about being willing. Willing to try, willing to rest, willing to choose yourself again. I want to pause here and invite you into this reflection. Ask yourself, what episode stayed with me the longest? What lesson challenged me the most? Where did I soften this year? Where did I grow quieter but stronger? You don't need perfect answers, just honest ones. Carrying the lessons forward. As we close out this year of episodes, I want you to hear this clearly. You don't need to become someone new next year. You need to keep integrating who you already are. The lessons from these 43 episodes weren't meant to overwhelm you. They were meant to walk beside you, to remind you, to steady you, to bring you back to yourself. So as you move forward into a new year, a new season, a new chapter, don't rush. Carry what resonated, release what no longer fits, and trust what's unfolding. And above all, keep living like the spiritual gangster you are. Grounded, soft, strong, aware. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for walking this journey with me. Until next time, take care of your energy, honor your healing, and keep showing up for your life.